Hi, this is Chris Bianchi with Resolute Philanthropy, and today I want to talk about Giving USA and some other um, big trend reports that you commonly run into. Now, I am traditionally a fan of these reports. I read the Giving USA report. I love hearing the interpretations of the data and trying to figure out what story is this really telling us about how donors are reacting to our industry, how the industry is reacting to everything else. There's some really interesting tidbits there. But I remember when I was a full time fundraiser, these reports caused me a little bit of anxiety because I would read them and think, well, what does this actually mean for me? What do I do with this information? Right? You see a headline that says giving is flat. The total number of donors is down. There's an over reliance on mega donors in this report. And I would look at my donor base and say, well, I don't have mega donors. My donor pool seems to be okay, but should I be worried? Should I change things? Is this a call to action? And that's kind of a tricky spot to be in because these reports are lagging indicators, right? They're looking backwards. They're using the rear view mirror to interpret what has already happened. And you, as a fundraising or a nonprofit leader, your job is to look forward and to figure out where are we going? How are we going to achieve our fundraising goals? How are we going to engage people with the mission? So, to that end, I wanted to talk today not really about the data in the report, but I wanted to talk about three things you can do in the advent of reading a report like Giving USA. Three things you can do that I believe will have a positive effect on your strategy and on the dollars you raise for your organization. So, first off, you look at the Giving USA report, and the finding is um, charitable giving totaled $617.2 billion. Now, there's a lot of kind of hemming and hawing within a report about what this means adjusted for inflation. How does this compare to previous years? What does this number mean in relationship to gross domestic product? And all kinds of conversations happening. But I think $617 billion is a huge number. And I think it tells us something that we sometimes forget. While the systems of philanthropy might be under attack or under pressure or maybe breaking, generosity is still a very human activity. It's still very human to be generous. And it's important for you as a nonprofit professional, someone who is working with donors, to celebrate that generosity. So call your donors and thank them for what they do. Could you make a goal to call 5 donors who gave in the last 6 months and thank them just out of the blue? Not because their gift just happened, not because of the time bound work we do with stewardship, but just to call and thank them. In a previous video, I talked about the importance of really reflecting on our donors' traits, not their activities. And this is what I'm talking about. Your donors are generous people. Whether they're giving $1 or $1 million, they are generous people. And they, I believe, want to be seen and recognized as such. So thank them for being a friend to your mission and a friend to your cause. The second finding, and this is kind of an evergreen finding, people who watch my videos probably know what I'm going to say. Last report, it said that 7% of all donations were from corporations, 10% of all donations were from bequests, 7 to 10. My mentor told me, I've told you, I will tell you again, dead people give away more money than live corporations. This is another proof of that. But the point here isn't to shame corporations. The point is, A, make sure you've got a strategy for planned giving. Maybe you need to start with something really simple like legacy giving and a bequest program, or maybe you're ready to dive deeper. But I really encourage you to make planned giving part of your strategic conversations. It can be a scary pool to jump into. You might be hesitant because there's so much in it, but there's agencies and organizations and friendly consultants who are ready to help you dip your toe in that water. It's really worth it. And the other thing you can do with this finding, as always, you've got that well-meaning board member who has told you, here's how we're going to close our fundraising gap. Let's just call Amazon. Let's just call Google. Let's just call fill in the blank there of the corporation this individual has in mind. And this finding presented maybe after the meeting, like, hey, did you see this? Look at this. That might help them realize that while their intentions are good, corporate giving is not going to be the magic solution for your fundraising issues, that you really want to go where the generosity is, which is individuals. The second or the third finding here is individual giving grew throughout the year compared to other channels. It was kind of trailing what total giving is doing. It's still individual giving. It's still the biggest engine we have of charitable dollars being transferred. It's still how it works. Don't get tricked into thinking you need to have a donor advised fund strategy. That doesn't exist. Donor advised is a tool. It's not the people who make the tool. It's donor advised. It's individuals. So, how to make this into action? Call your donors. Call your donors, call your donors, call your donors. Make sure talking to your donors, inviting them to things, sharing victories, asking their opinion, connecting with them. Make sure that's part of how you do your job. If you are a full time fundraiser, you need to be comfortable with and excited about calling your donors. And I know it can be scary to get started. I've been there. I've been there when you had the call list, and I was the guy who had to print out the call list and make sure it looked the right way, and then it wasn't quite right. So go back to Excel and change some columns and maybe run it again from the CRM. I know how that feels. But I can also tell you that once you get into this habit of speaking to your donors, of keeping them engaged with your mission and making sure they understand that you are a person and you are their friend within the organization, that changes your ability to encourage, engage, inspire these supporters, because you get to know them as individuals. You get to know them as people who care about this mission. So, whatever the finding is, if you go down the rabbit hole of individual giving trailing X, Y, or Z, that's all well and good. But your personal strategy for your mission, your nonprofit, your goals, individuals need to be a part of that. And if you're not there yet, if you're at a nonprofit and you say, we don't have any sort of history of talking to donors, now's the time to start. Now's the time to start. And no surprise, I can help you start. I'd love to talk to you about ways you can align that fundraising work and really accelerate it, because there's generosity out there. There's people who care about your mission. They might not, however, care about the systems. They might not care about your organization per se, but they do care about your cause. And the joy of individual giving is uncovering that and connecting with people around those themes. So, if you want to do more, if you look at a report like Giving USA and your first question is, now what? Those are three things you can do to get started. Beyond that, I would love to talk to you about ways we can do more for your mission, for the community you serve, and for your donors, to make sure they understand how exciting it is. What a great opportunity. What a blessing it is. I don't use that word lightly. To be able to influence the world, to invest in and connect with a cause that you care about. That's a truly great thing. And it's our job to celebrate that with folks. So get out there, pick up the phone, and if I can help, you can call me too. I'd love to chat. That's all for today. Keep up the great work. We'll see you soon.